Buckle up, Niners faithful. What's happening behind closed doors at Levi's Stadium could shape the next decade of San Francisco 49ers football. As training camp looms and expectations swell after another tantalizing season, the organization finds itself at a crossroads regarding one of the league's most talked-about quarterbacks, Brock Purdy. He's ignited debates, captured fans' hearts, and now stares at the prospect of an astronomical new contract that could redefine not only his career, but the franchise's future. Today, we break down the facts, dissect the rumors, and decode what 49ers GM John Lynch's latest comments truly mean. Let's dive into a story where every number counts, and every negotiation is a high-stakes chess match. Purdy's meteoric rise and the inevitable payday. Just a few seasons ago, Brock Purdy was the last pick in the NFL draft. Today, some experts believe he deserves a contract extension worth as much, or even more, than $300 million. His journey from Mr. Irrelevant to San Francisco's starting quarterback has been lightning quick and, above all, steeped in drama. Yet here we are, on the brink of a new campaign, and the 49ers have not finalized a long-term deal with the quarterback who took them to the Super Bowl in just his second NFL season. The whispers are growing louder. Will San Francisco pay up, or risk watching another team swoop in with the offer Purdy and his representatives are seeking? Sources say the number being discussed could eclipse $230 million. Bleacher reports Alex K floated a staggering figure: 6 years, $324 million. A contract typically reserved for MVPs and seasoned Super Bowl champs, not slightly above average passers. Yet it's the reality of the modern NFL, where the market often sets the value, not the trophy case. Understanding the negotiation from Lynch's playbook, the silence out of San Francisco has been deafening. But that changed recently when General Manager John Lynch addressed the media. True to his reputation, Lynch avoided spilling the beans on specifics, leaning instead on the kind of calculated transparency that keeps fans, and perhaps agents, guessing. "We've made it a practice not to talk about negotiations," Lynch told reporters, emphasizing his old-school approach to confidentiality. "I felt like that was my business, and I didn't want the world knowing it. So I've always been very sensitive to that." But between the lines there was real. "We're having really good, positive discussions. When it gets done, I'm not sure. Hope sooner rather than later. But hope is not a strategy. So, we're making progress. We've had good discussions. Take that for what it's worth. Private, ongoing talks, with an unmistakable sense of urgency as training camp draws near. The 49ers want this settled, but only at the right price. The money math, risky bets, and sky-high leverage. Here's where it gets complicated. The Niners brass has to weigh not just what Purdy means to the offense, but what he means in terms of cap space and future flexibility. A contract in the $300 million neighborhood would impact draft strategy, player retention, and roster building for years. There are reasons to have. Purdy, while clutch and resilient, isn't universally considered an upper-echelon quarterback yet. Despite his 9,518 passing yards, 64 touchdowns, and just 27 interceptions since taking the reins in 2022, he remains a step below NFL elites in some. He doesn't have an MVP award or a Lombardi trophy, a fact worth noting as negotiations unfold. But here's the catch. Many of the NFL's highest-paid quarterbacks also don't have those accolades. The market now rewards potential and performance in big moments, not just the ultimate prize. And that game of chicken pushes leverage toward Purdy. The 49ers have no clear succession plan, and other quarterback-hungry teams would not hesitate to break the bank for an emerging. Delaying the contract could cost San Francisco dearly if negotiations drag into next year, as the market almost always. The stakes, 49ers' future, hangs in the balance. If San Francisco believes Brock Purdy is their best hope to win now and in the coming years, they must make a choice. Do you risk setting a new quarterback market with a huge or do you gamble, giving him a shorter deal or hoping for friendlier numbers, while risking another team snatching him away in every scenario has. The wrong move could unsettle a locker room primed for another championship run, or worse, start a chain reaction that weakens the entire roster. No franchise in the NFL wants to enter a season with uncertainty under center, and with the 49ers' current Super Bowl window, the pressure is either. Yet, committing a massive portion of your salary cap to a player still fighting for universal elite status is a bold, headline-grabbing gamble. But passing on Purdy now? That could invite years of quarterback instability, the very curse that's haunted so many teams across the league. Around the league, quarterback set the tempo to understand why the price is so high. Just look around. Veteran QBs like Kirk Cousins have recently signed deals worth $45 million per season, while Buffalo's Josh Allen pushed the per-year figure even higher. While Purdy lacks an MVP or ring, he's already in those positions, largely due to playoff performances and the way he's quickly earned the confidence of coaches. ESPN's Dan Graziano suggests the extension could even reach $55 million per year. That would put Purdy amongst the absolute financial elite, despite his comparative age. But in a league obsessed with offense, durability, and quarterback charisma, maybe the question isn't whether Purdy is worth it, but whether the 49ers can afford to risk letting. The next moves for both the 49ers and Purdy will be closely monitored by every team, agent and analyst in the NFL. If this deal gets done soon, it could set off a chain reaction of contract extensions in the league. If it stalls, expect months of rumors, speculation, and pressure building on all sides. So how do you see it, Niner Empire? Should San Francisco make Brock Purdy one of the highest-paid signal callers in the sport? Or do you think the risks outweigh the rewards? What would you accept as fair value if you were calling the shots? Let us know your take in the comments. And if you found this breakdown insightful or want to stay locked in on every 49ers twist and NFL headline, please hit that like button and more. Every voice counts as the future of the franchise hangs in the balance. Until next time, stay tuned. The clock is ticking in the Bay, and the next decision will echo for years.